Hello everyone, and welcome to this tutorial about how to use Advantage Mobile for block walking. So first things first is we want to make sure we have the Advantage Mobile app downloaded onto our phones. So you'll go to your respective app store. If you have an iPhone, it's the App Store. If you have an Android phone, it's probably the Google Play Store. And you want to make sure that you download the app. In the search bar, you're going to type in Advantage Mobile, and it should come right up. It's this red app here. Now, I already have it downloaded onto my phone, so it says open. If I didn't, it would say get. I would tap get, I would download it onto my phone, and then I would be able to open the app. So because I already have it downloaded, I'm going to click open, and the app's going to open, and I'm going to be led to this login screen. Now, if you have been calling and making phone calls via Red Dialer, your login information is actually the same. It works on Red Dialer and it works on the Advantage Mobile app. If for some reason you do not have login credentials, you cannot remember your credentials, or you're unsure of what they are, you're just unsure of what they are, please reach out to your regional field director and they can get you all set up on that. So once I'm ready to log in, I would click login on the screen. It would take me to this screen here where I'm going to type in everything that I need. So once I type that in, I'm going to click login. It's going to load up. I'm going to take it to this loading screen. This is just the app's loading. It's loading all the software. And then I'm going to be taken to this home screen. Now, there's not a lot you need to worry about on this screen. Up at the top on the left-hand side, it says doors today. That's the amount of doors you've knocked in a 24-hour period. Total doors on the right is the amount of doors you've knocked while using the Advantage Mobile app. Down on the left-hand side, it says pledge. If you're more goal-oriented, you can tap on pledge and enter a number, but it's not necessary. And then there's these little badges, just like in Red Dialer, as little milestones that Advantage is put in, so we don't really have to worry about that. On the right-hand side, we're going to see it says door list. So I'm going to tap on that, and I already have a walkbook open on Advantage, but this is not the walkbook that I'm going to be using for this tutorial. So you notice in the upper right-hand corner, it says start. There's a little circle that says start. I'm going to tap on that, and I'm going to tap on assigned walkbook. Now, your regional field director will give you the name of the walkbook that you're going to be using in the time you are block walking. So be sure to reach out to them to get that name. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using this first walkbook, Texas Victory CD31 in Bell County, which I made just so we can go through and learn how to use the app and what voter responses we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to tap on that. It might take a little while to load depending on just the amount of information that the walkbook has. So once that loads up, then I'm going to be greeted with the door list. Now, there's a lot of information on this page, but don't worry, we're going to walk through it step by step. So we have a list, we have a map, we have the names of the people that we're looking for and that we're targeting. We have their address. Here on the right-hand side, you're going to see little houses with numbers in it. That's actually the number of targeted people we have at each address. So some houses have 1, some houses have 2, and it varies from there. You'll notice that this walkbook is a little bit smaller, 30 houses, only 4 pages, which isn't too bad. And then down at the bottom, you'll see door list, look up and add, my results, my events, and sync. Now, the 2 most important portions there are door list and sync. Those are the ones you want to keep in mind. You can scroll through the walkbook like I just did, just to see who you're talking about, who you're talking to, and how many people you're going to be targeting in each household. We're definitely going to go through the map view. Right now this is the list view, as well as learning what sync is later on in the video. So this little hand actually at the top, just a quick overview of that. I believe that will count how many doors you've hit, how many surveys have been taken. But if it's not counting, don't worry. That's not really something we need to worry about as we go. So I am actually going to click on Patrick Carney, just as an example, to go through the modeling, and then the voter responses that we're going to be talking about as we're block walking. So I'm going to click on Patrick Carney. He lives at 5811 Denman's Loop. Patrick Carney, we have here this modeling information. So we have the survey we're using. We believe he's a soft Republican. We have his age and his gender, and that's what we'll be using to target these people that we're talking to at the door. So once I've kind of read through this, I can tap again on the screen, and it will take me to the voter responses. Now, here at the voter responses, there's quite a few. Most of them are self-explanatory, so we don't really have to go too deep into the weeds about them. We really just want to keep in mind we want them to take the survey once at the door. But let's say we go to the door, we ring the doorbell, no one's answering, we ring the doorbell again, we wait a little bit, no one's answering. We would assume Patrick is not home, so we would click on no answer at door. Once you tap on an answer that is not take survey, it will load back to the original door list screen so you can move to the next home, the next person. Answer door refuse survey, again, that's really self-explanatory. The person you're talking to, we're trying to reach Patrick. He answered the door, but he decided he did not want to take the survey today. So he refused. We just tap that answer door refuse survey, and we'll hopefully talk to him next time. Take survey, we're actually going to go through that a little later. Then we have deceased. Again, that's self-explanatory. If for any reason you go up to the door and the person you're speaking to, they tell you that the person you're looking for has passed away, offer your condolences, thank them for their time, and just move on to the next home. Move, update, and survey new voter. So sometimes the person that we're looking for does not live at the home anymore, but maybe there's someone that you're talking to at the door and they want to take the survey. So you'll be able to survey them with the same survey questions and then update the information for that address within the app, just to make sure we have the right address and we know we're talking to a new person. Moved, no new voter, or refused. That actually just means the person at the door, they don't answer, no one answers. Or you see like a for sale sign outside the home, you kind of look, you think nobody lives there, there's no one to talk to, or someone's refused a survey. Moved, no new voter, refused, we'll go to the next person, we'll go to the next home. Gated community, that one's also self-explanatory. Sometimes there's communities, apartment complexes, or even homes that have gates around them that we can't get to the front door and ring the doorbell. So we would just tap gated community and we will find another way to reach those people at a later date. So those are all the voter responses. Again, they're very self-explanatory. If you have any questions about voter responses, feel free to reach out to the field organizer you're working with or the regional field director that you are working with, and they can kind of explain a little bit further about the voter responses that are being used. So what we're going to do next is we are going to talk about the survey that we're using. Now, ideally, we want people to answer the door. So let's say Patrick answers the door. We click take survey, and this is what the survey looks like. It's actually really, really easy. The questions are just really support questions. We're trying to conduct voter contact and identify who we'll need to contact in November for the general election. So we have questions in this particular walkbook about President Trump, Senator John Cornyn, we'll notice Congressional District 31 John Carter, and other down ballot candidates that we're going to be talking to. Again, this survey, your top two questions will remain the same. We definitely want to identify who will be voting for President Trump and who will be voting for Senator John Cornyn. And then your down ballot candidates obviously are different for every district and region. So we want to make sure we're targeting those areas and talking to who we need to be talking to. It's really easy. You just tap on the answer once you're having the conversation at the door for these people. Yes, no, undecided, or they refuse to answer the question. Again, very, very easy, very, very self-explanatory. At the door, you don't have to read this word for word. you can have a conversation at the door with the people you're speaking with. Just let it flow naturally in order to get the information that we need. You just tap on it. Once you've gone through the entire survey, you're going to want to click save in the upper right hand corner. That save button will then, it'll save to the system, and you'll be directed back to the door list. And from the door list, you'll be able to move on to the next house. So that's basically the essence of how to use Advantage Mobile. We're going to click on the map view just to see how it looks in the map. But before we do that, let's talk about sync. So every 5 houses, it's recommended to sync the data back to the system. So let's say you've gone through 5 houses and you know it's time to sync. You're going to click sync in that lower right hand side. These numbers will have been populated surveys, probably not new voters, but mostly surveys. It'll be the amount of surveys that have been taken or the amount of doors you've knocked if someone hasn't been home. And you'll click sync at the bottom. It will load, and then you'll be taken back to the door list page. You can do it every page. There's about, I believe, 10 folks to a page, or you can do it every 3 to 5 houses. It's entirely up to you, but we do recommend highly to sync often so that no data is lost and you don't have to redo all the hard work you've done. So if you click on the map view, it's just the list view, just in kind of like a Google map form. You can log in there. You can see kind of the houses you're hitting, how close they are, how far apart they are, who you're talking to. If you tap on a little peg, you'll see the name of the person, just like the list, just there's their name. You can tap on it again and it'll take you to that modeling page. You tap on it again, it'll take you to that voter response page. And it's the same process, just a different view. It's really personal preference on how you want to block walk. So that is the basic essence of how we use Advantage Mobile. It's really, really easy. Block walking is not too complicated. And we just, these are the voters we want to target for the November election. We want to make sure we get the information from these people so that we can contact them to hit the polls in November, because we know 2020 is one of the most important elections that we've ever seen, and it's important to get as many people to the polls as possible. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your regional field director, reach out to myself. You can comment below in this video. In the description, I can put some contact information so you can reach out if you have any questions at all. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to y'all soon.